Hi, I'm Kate Emerson, the Quick Shift Daver. My aim is to help you live light so that you can live large. Now, as part of my commitment to all of you, I promised that 2013 I would give you a step-by-step coaching program so that if you chose to follow what it is that I throw your way, some challenges, some hopefully inspired ideas, that you would make huge inroads into changing your life. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I gave you step one, which was how to create your vision, the big, juicy, wild idea for your life. And there were a couple of challenges that I set you. So I truly hope that you did those. And if not, please can I suggest that you start with those first before you get stuck in today. Because I'm really doing everything in a chronological step-by-step process so that you have the best way forward. So let's get started. Step 2 in the program is called goal setting. Now, I know that these two little words can conjure up all sorts of crazy reactions to them. Some people hate the idea of goals, they don't know how to set them. You've set them before, but you've never achieved them, then you feel like a failure. So they come with a whole set of nerdly ideas and thoughts and feelings around them. I understand that. I mean, I know in the past I've set goals and not achieved them, but one of the things that I know that I've done is that I've got that much closer than I was ever before. So there is such a fine dance and an art between setting something that is way too challenging and off the mark versus something that is just kind of only a little step forward so it's not that motivating or inspirational. And you know, Jack Canfield once said, it takes no more energy to have a big goal than it does to have a small goal. So my aim is to take you step by step. So the way we get started is, I love the possibility of what cars give us today. So cars now, most of you have got a Garmin, a GPS, you use your iPhone, some kind of TomTom, some device that helps you get from A to B. And this is such a beautiful metaphor for our lives. So I'm going to give it to you in a simple format. What happens when you get into your car or your friend or your partner's car is we get in and we turn on the GPS, we turn on the ignition, and what do we automatically do? Yeah, you know what we do. We plug in the destination of what? Where we want to go. If I'm sitting here in Johannesburg in Greenside, I don't get into my car and say, take me out of Johannesburg. My car will just drive me around and round and round if I'm following weird instructions from my GPS. I can't really say, take me anywhere, because the GPS won't know how to operate. Whereas if I say, Cape Town is my destination, now the GPS has got something interesting to do. So goal setting is pretty much like that, but I want to take you just one step backwards. When you switch on the ignition in your car and your GPS lights up, there's something that happens first. Now, my technical friends tell me it's called triangulation. So what happens is the GPS starts saying hello to itself up in the sky and the satellite, and the very first thing it needs to do before you can plug in where you want to go is it needs to get data and input and understand where the car is right now. That becomes its focal point, because that becomes its position, its global positioning in relation to the rest of the world. If your car and your GPS doesn't know where you are now, you haven't got a hope in hell of getting from Johannesburg to Cape Town. Because if it doesn't know you're in Joburg, how does it give you the route and the maps and which way to go to get to your destination? So that's your first step in goal setting. And it might seem like a squiff way to do it, but today is all about your current stock take. It's a bit like a life audit. It's not that difficult to do. I'm going to give you an exercise, and when you go back to the actual newsletter, you'll see in the purple column the challenge is written there for you, but it's called a cycle of life, and I'm going to talk you through it now. Great, so as part of the newsletter, I've actually attached the cycle of life exercise for you, but I just want to show you a couple of things about it. When you need to take stock, so like the GPS, it's understanding where you are, you need to be brutally honest. Don't let yourself off the hook. Don't con yourself. Don't fool yourself. Don't worry about anybody else in your family or your work that's going to look at it. Just do it for you. This is you going, where am I, Kate, at right now? Because once you have that, then you know what it is that you might be interested in shifting and changing. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a big circle, and it's going to be cut into pieces of cake like that. There's going to be 8 different areas of life. So you'll have a look and you'll see that the areas you need to write on the outside of the pieces of cake, because we're going to be working on the inside. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about each of the 8 areas of your life. So whilst sometimes it's important to think about your whole life as kind of one entity, when you're looking at and taking stock take, it's much more useful and interesting to break it down into different segments. The reason we do that is often we think, well, everything's fantastic, but when we take an honest look, we might realize that there could be one area tripping us up in life. I mean, I'm in South Africa at the moment, and like everybody else here and internationally, the news of Oscar Pistorius and what's happened over the last few days is really top of news and top of everybody's mind. And it got me thinking, you look at him in one area of his life in terms of his career and his money and his ability to be disciplined and him chasing his dreams and being Paralympian 2012, he clearly had the most incredible amount of discipline, motivation, inspiration, goals of things that he wanted to achieve from when he was really young. And then now we're finding out different things about other aspects of his life, so his personal, his home and family, his relationships and communication, his ability to handle or not handle himself. And so that is really what our entire person is. It's made up of eight different sections, and they all somehow need to flow together in order to make us the best person that we can be. And it's finding a way to almost harmonize those. I'm not saying that it can always be equal or at 100%, but finding the way to harmonize them so that we can live an incredible life and show up and step up and be more than what we currently are. So your first step is going to be to look at those 8 areas. So they are your career, which is where you bring your passion to work, and hopefully you're doing something that you absolutely love, and if not, maybe that's something to look at. The next area is finances or money or wealth, whichever you prefer, and that's how we get or don't get the exchange and value, and is all around our abundance. Then we have home and family. Now, home is often considered the physical place where you live, and family is often the people that live in your home with you, including animals, or it could be extended family that might be living somewhere else. Another section is relationships and communication. Now that one really starts with your relationship with yourself. So if I have a better relationship with me, it means that I'm able to engage in and have better relationships with you and everybody else. And also it's about communication. So do I feel heard? Do I listen? Am I getting the right results when I engage with people? So that's relationships and communication. Another area of life is self-development. Now that, I think our entire life always encapsulates self-development. But for me, that area is kind of epitomized by anything that expands me. So it could be taking French lessons. It could be learning to skydive. It could be learning to type better. I'm not the great typist in the world. And it might not fit into any one of the other categories, but it's about how did I, Kate, expand who I am and what would be the things that would develop me as a whole person. Then we have fun and leisure, or recreation, whichever you prefer. And that is how often do you allow yourself to get downtime, the time that actually lets your body and soul rest and rejuvenate and have fun and spend time with friends. And so often as an entrepreneur, one of the things is the downside of being self-employed is that you can work all the time. And often weekends become a time of work. So how do you activate your leisure so that it gives you that creativity so that you can bring it back into your work life? Another area is your spirit or your faith or your religion, your connection to something bigger, whatever that bigger is for you. For me, living with my spirit is a really important part of my daily practice and how I attempt to be more in the world. And you've got to find your own way forward. I think that's all of them covered. Oh no, health and fitness is a big one. So health could be, you might be really healthy, but not necessarily cardiovascularly fit. And there could be different things for you. But this is about your vavavum. Do you have energy to get up and go, to face your day, to be productive, to have time to go out with your friends? And if you don't have energy, the physicalness, the vavavum in your life, you are going to battle in every single one of the others. Now let me just double check here that I hope I've done all 8. Yep, I've done all 8. So what you need to do is follow the follow the outline in the document and take stock of your life currently. And then when you've done that, I urge you to write a little paragraph about each of the 8 areas, kind of what's brought you to this place right now in 2013 in February, and why are you here, and try and look for some patterns, some insights. Just give yourself a little description as if you're writing a paragraph about a book of each of those 8 different areas. And then next time, I'm going to show you actively how to set goals in some of the areas that you choose so that you are able to plug in your GPS coordinates of where it is you really want to go this year with me supporting you on that journey. So if I give you an example from my own life, Last year, I've never been a runner. I walk, I do yoga, I'll hike, I'll do all sorts, I'll jump off buildings, but I'm not a runner. And at the end of 2011, I dabbled with it when I was in Barrydale. Some of you know that. But I was just plodding along the road on my own. And in about March, when I started my first mastermind group, I decided that I was going to run a 10K. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I signed up for a program with Shape, the magazine that's now closed down. And within 12 weeks, I was able to run 10 kilometers. I even signed up for the Spa Challenge. And what happened is that I did it. Simple as that. But what's happened since then is I didn't actually set myself the next goal. So now I'm kind of running around Greenside and Westcliff, but I'm not really focused on something, and I find that I'm battling. I find that I don't have as much motivation. So one of the things I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks before I chat to you again is figuring what is my next goal for exercise. Am I going to do a couple more 10Ks? Am I going to push forward to a 21.5K, whatever the distance is? What am I going to do? Because right now I'm floundering around a little bit because I don't have a very specific place and energy and time that I am committed to. So I hope that's been useful, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Please encourage your friends to sign up because they're going to be able to go and access the past videos, so they'll be able to catch up whenever they join throughout the year. So I hope this has helped. Have an awesome Monday. Bye.